And so, with a heavy heart, I have to announce that Aliens vs. Predator, The Hunt Begins, and Aliens vs. Predator Unleashed are now being discontinued by Protos Games. I'm going to talk about what this means for this channel, what this means for the Facebook group, and what it means for the game in general. So it was just announced yesterday that Protos Games is no longer going to support AVP because they weren't able to continue the license because I guess from what I heard, Disney, because they now own the Fox license, are discontinuing a ton of their IPs with other companies, including Protos Games. So, and it's a shame too, because this game was really finally starting to take a hold. It usually takes like 3 years for any business to get up and running, and Protos Games has been working on this project for 6 years, and the Kickstarter I think was like 4 years ago. Or was it 3 years ago? I'm not sure exactly, but they did it. They released the game, and now it's on shelves all across the world. Now, of course, in the United States, the game didn't really pick up that much. There's a lot of people that still don't know about it, and people just now learning about it. But again, with any game, if you want people to play it with you, you have to share it. So when the game first came out on Kickstarter, I started the Facebook group, so that all the fans could like kind of share their own creations and all that kind of stuff, because there are certain licensing things that the official Protos Facebook page couldn't do. But with Protos' blessing, I made my own channel and my own Facebook group called AVP Wargamer. So if you don't know anything about that, join my Facebook group, AVP Wargamer, and check that out. So anyways, I'm going to go back a little bit. So I went to Adepticon for my first time this last weekend, and I came home, and then this morning I got messages from everybody going, what's happening to AVP? And Protos had released the announcement that it's, with a heavy heart, they have to discontinue the brand. And right now they're doing 40% off everything on their web stores. So I would suggest get on there, get those models before they're gone, because just like with Warzone Resurrection, they did this big clearance sale. At the end of the month, everything was off the website because they could no longer use the IP. But once you have the game, you don't have to stop playing it. And that's exactly what I've decided. We're not going to stop playing this game. We're not going to stop playing all the older games out there about aliens and predators and whatever else was created by people. And in fact, we're going to make some of our own games too. And the thing is when I first backed the Kickstarter, this was like a dream come true. It was somebody was creating a game that I had dreamed of, and I had already done some homebrew rules. And like back in the 90s, I took like the leading edge aliens miniatures and mixed them with Necromunda and made my own alien rules for Necromunda and played that with my friends, and we loved it. So, this game's not going to go away. Just the fact that an official version is going to be gone doesn't mean that we're not going to stop creating our own worlds and our own games and our own miniatures to play this game. Yeah, so it's not over yet. Now that being said, I'm going to talk about the future of AVP and what we can do about it. So in this book, this book kind of gave a format of what we were about to see from Protos Games. They were releasing new releases every single month, and I'm sure if they kept the IP going, they were able to release the rest of the stuff that was in this book. So the models we're probably never going to see, and I really hope that Protos decides to kind of release at least concept art or prototype pictures. It'd be so cool to see what they had in the works for the future of this brand. But sadly, we're not going to see these. We're not going to see the hunting bikes for the Predators. We're not going to see the Predator dropship, which I really wanted to see. There's also, let's see what else. Oh yeah, the for the Marines there was the Weyland-Yutani exosuits. We're not going to get those, sadly. And then Lynn, Kawasa, and Dutch Schaefer, we're not going to get official models for those. So we're going to have to make our own, like we always do as gamers and miniature enthusiasts. We are going to convert our own and replace those slots. So a couple of things is, the cool thing is that those aren't too hard to make. Obviously, the jet bikes we can make out of Eldar jet bikes, especially Dark Eldar jet bikes. They already look like Predator jet bikes. We just got to do a little tweaking, and there we go. And I know a lot of the people in our group have already done that. So the bikes, we can handle that, as modeling enthusiasts. Now, the Predator dropship, there was a guy in our Facebook group that created his own Predator dropship and sold copies of it for a little bit, which was really cool. And I got a copy of it, and I'm going to build that up and use that. And then for the exosuits, we can use exosuits from all sorts of other things. There's some people that already made some of their own using Drop Zone. Dead Zone. Dead Zone. They used some Dead Zone miniatures and made their own Weyland-Yutani exosuits. And then you could use Dust Tactics, to make your own exosuits. There's plenty of places you can get models to convert that. You can even take the Power Loader model from Protoss and turn that into an exosuit. Just put guns on it. There's a lot of cool modeling opportunities that you guys can do. As far as Lynn and Dutch, the sneaky thing is Archon Miniatures, which is or Archon Games. They're a sister company of Protoss, and they actually snuck over those designs into Chronicle X, and they kind of tweaked them a little bit to make them different. But it's Lynn and it's Dutch, so if you don't need models for that, go pick up Chronicle X when that gets released, or find the Kickstarter exclusive ones online somehow, or maybe in my Facebook group. There's some people that still have copies of that. So you can fill those slots with those two characters. Now, the cool thing is this month Protoss did release Machiko Noguchi as two different sculpts, one with her mask on and one with her mask off. And finally, they released Unicast Alien Eggs. Thank goodness, they finally released the eggs. So at least we can have some official eggs for the aliens as their final send-off in this whole thing that's happening. And if you can't get any eggs, you can always make your own. They're not that hard to make. You can make your own alien eggs. It's not a big deal. So, the models we're not going to get from Unleashed, it's not a big deal. We can make our own. We can figure it out. We're going to do some awesome conversion work. And if you don't know how to do that, join our Facebook group. We got lots of amazing modeling enthusiasts on there that can do incredible conversion work. There's one guy who alone created an entire army of all the movie characters, which we didn't have, Protoss didn't even have the rights for those, and he did his own. So, it's going to be fine. Also, after this, or during this sale, I'm going to personally try to stock up on a lot of models from the company, and then hopefully, resell them later to the group, and everybody who hears about the game and really wants to play it but can't get the models anymore, hopefully we can supply it, as many people as we can with a backstock that we build up ourselves. And eBay's out there, and eBay's forever. This game isn't going away. It's permanently created. It's permanently out there. It exists. It's going to be a little bit harder to get your hands on it if you've never played it before, or if you've never seen the models before, but it's out there. You can get it. And in fact, if you want this rule book, you can download it for free on the Protoss website right now. Go get it before it's gone. You can also get it off of AVP Wargamer, the Facebook group. In our files section, we have all the original beta rules and all that kind of stuff as PDFs, so you can grab those. And there's a ton of other cool files that people have been sharing with the group. So we're going to keep this game going. We're going to keep the channel going, and as soon as I get some better equipment, I'm going to do some battle reports. We're going to keep the game alive and just do a bunch of really awesome, crazy scenarios. And so the future will be cool. And I have a feeling that if we keep our eyes peeled, we might see some of the designs and sculpts that Protoss would have put out re-rendered for other games through Archon or Archeron. Correct me how I said that if you can. All right. Well, anyways, peace out. I'm gonna go and think about the future of what we can do in the Aliens vs. Predator universe. And until I get back, stay frosty, Marines. It's not over yet.